Eat it up, turn them to vultures.
The culture.
Thank God for the culture. Thank God for the culture. Thank God for the culture.
Listen right now.
Yes, yes, yes.
What's up? What's up?
Hey,
Welcome to We Do It for the Culture Radio, where our stories matter.
Yes, sir.
I am one of your hosts, Lover.
I'm your host, DJ Mizzle.
and I'm Mahogany Rose, and we are.
We do it for the Culture Radio. That's right. Come to give you another great blast of information to keep you in the know. And we're going to be talking about mental illness in the Black community today.
Yes.
Yes, it goes deep. Mental illness is something that we try to sometimes to disguise, sometimes to hide.
Hide it. Definitely hide it.
It's not showed at all, you know. But anyway, we're gonna talk about it because it needs to be discussed because it's something that goes on in the Black community, probably more than any other ethnic group
I think so, too.
out there. So get your popcorn ready. Tell a friend, tell your mom, tell anybody. Tell them to watch stationhead.com. The station is 4 or 5 stronger. You can watch us on YouTube. We do it for the Culture Radio.
Facebook. We do it for the culture.
Facebook. Yes, just tell somebody. Tune in. We're about to get it in. We're going to take a small break, and we're coming right back with the action as soon as we come back. So get ready. You heard?
Keep on learning. Soldiers, keep on warring. my highest ground. Lovers, keep on loving. Believers, keep on believing. Sleepers, just stop sleeping. 'Cause it won't be too long. Oh, no. I'm so glad that he let me try again. 'Cause my last time on earth I never hope to sin. I'm so glad that I know more than I knew then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Till I reach my highest ground. No one's gonna bring me down. Oh no. Till I reach my highest ground.
Yes. Welcome back. We do it for the Culture Radio where our stories matter. And we got a serious one here today, y'all.
Yes.
Talking about mental illness in the Black community. As you know, there are several sorts of mental illness or mental disorders.
Mhm.
One of the biggest one is depression.
Yep.
So you got clinical depression, you got anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, dementia, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder. Is that the eating one? The compulsive?
Nah, I think
Huh?
that's the OC. That's OCD when you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got the autism and they got post-traumatic stress disorder. So those are all different types of mental illnesses that people go through, and I've seen a few of those firsthand, whether
Yes.
it be from family, friends. I had aunts with dementia. I got a homeboy that goes through schizophrenia,
Okay.
and myself, I've gone through depression.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
like
That's-
I mean, you know, I know a lot of us can relate to that. You know, sometimes growing up as young individuals in the Black community, or sometimes we're deprived of other things, of what other ethnic groups are used to seeing or going through when they're
Yes.
coming up. You know, I know myself. The first time I ever went to Disney World, I was in my 40s. You know what I mean?
You've been. I mean, I can say that you've been. I still haven't been.
Okay, boom. So you grew up seeing those commercials, Mickey and Disney, and
Yeah.
go
Right.
to Disney. We don't take those trips.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
We go see grandma and
Right.
grandpa. And that's about it.
You know what I mean? So when you go up in the Black community, we're not really privy to some of the things, the privileges and things that other ethnic groups see growing up. So sometimes it leads to depression. You go to school and you see these kids got this, they got that, and you wonder why you don't have it. You may see, oh, well, this kid got both parents, why I don't have it.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. This guy got good clothes on, why can't I have good clothes?
That's true.
We go through and see so many different things growing up in the Black community, and sometimes, you know, we just it brings us down. It brings our morale down.
Yes.
And it makes us start feeling like, you know, well, why I don't have this? Why can't I have this? Why does he have a better life than me? Or why does he, you know what I mean? So we go through a lot of different things growing up in the Black community, dealing with mental illness, and we want to talk about it. They said there are 7 different common signs to help determining if a loved one may be suffering
Okay.
from mental illness. So one of them is change in feelings or demeanor, loss of interest, change in sleeping habits, low energy, difficulty interacting, appetite or weight changes, and uncontrollable emotions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you out there listening right now have gone through some of these signs. Some of you going through all kind of different things. We need you guys to chime in, whether it's on 405 Strong on stationhead.com, whether it's on Facebook.
Yep.
Don't leave us hanging. I know nobody really wants to talk about what they go through. Mental illness is it's almost like taboo.
It's extremely taboo.
No one wants to talk about it. No one
That's
wants to
it.
face it. We're afraid of what people might say, what people might think.
Yeah,
So we kind of keep it balled up to ourselves.
especially as black men.
Oh yeah, for
Especially
sure.
black men.
We got the pride, we got the ego.
Yes.
So we want you guys to chime in and join the discussion, because this is one that we really need to tackle. I know Mahogany Rose, you have some statistics that you
I have
that you had
some
pulled up.
statistics and also some experiences. First off, overall, mental health conditions occur in African American people about the same as white Americans. However, historically, Black and African American experiences are characterized by trauma, violence, more than their white counterparts.
Yes, that's the big one. The violence. I left that
Yes.
one out.
Yeah.
We have been historically dehumanized. So we have cases where we're oppressed we're involved in violence. There's just different situations. The suicide rate at this point, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States of America. One thing that the experiences that I have had, I taught severely emotionally disabled students for 5 years of my teaching career. I've taught for 12. And I see children of all walks of life come into my classroom, and they were mostly African American children. I would have a classroom of 16 boys, and most of them were either mixed children or they were biracial, multiracial, or they were African American. And they had OCD, oppositional defiant diseases, autism, you name it. These children had it. And then we just had to figure out how to have classroom management to be able to teach these students, because most of the time, being in a self-contained classroom, they normally place us in a hut in the back of the schools, away from everybody else. And no one wanted to deal with these children, even the principals, unless you had a principal that have taught these students themselves before at some point in their teaching or their administrative career. They don't want to deal with them. They're scared of them.
So are you guys like kind of trained to look for the signs or to recognize the signs in these children? By any chance, are you guys
When they come
you
to-
waiting? You just like, oh, let me
They normally come with what is called an IEP, which is an individual education plan. But sometimes these kids were coming from New York. They were coming from all over, and we didn't even have the paperwork for them. We had to figure it out. We didn't know what the triggers were with these students. We didn't know, especially with the kids that were autistic, they never should have been put in the population with all the other students, because that's just a whole nother ball game working with kids that are autistic. Because certain things trigger, they're great students, and some of them are very knowledgeable of certain things. But when they get fixated on something, when they get fixated on a video game or fixated on a computer, it is so difficult to get them to transition from one task to another.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be trained to work with these students and physically know how to deal with them when they have episodes.
I know when I was a kid, they told my mom I had this thing, what you call it when you have when you hard to pay attention or to stay focused.
ADHD.
ADHD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Attention deficit or something like that.
Yes,
Whatever.
Yes.
ADD.
Mhm. Hyper.
Yeah.
Activity.
And then I said I have my attention span was short or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. But I don't like when you growing up. Like when I would go to school, unlike a lot of other kids in my classroom, whatever, that live in these nice, well-developed neighborhoods, some of them, whatever, they didn't see the things I saw the night before. You know what I mean? I'm seeing cats, running from being shot at. They're trying to run in the building from being shot at from somebody, or you're talking about the fight you saw the night before. Oh, did you see so and so? Oh, yo, he beat so and so.
Yeah.
So all these things are on my mind while I'm in the classroom. I'm supposed to focus on my schoolwork, but all I can think about is that dope fight I saw last night in the street. So and so got shot at. If you ever saw the building where I grew up at, even to this day, they every so often they have to change the front doors of the building because it's bullet holes
Okay.
all on the doors. Inside, you go inside, whatever. If you go inside to this day, there's a wall in the lobby where they've tried to
Plaster
the bullet holes because they concrete walls.
Yeah.
Brick wall. So they just basically try to cover them up with something, whatever. But you can see where they try to cover up the bullet holes in the walls and all that, whatever. So you want me to focus in class?
Yeah.
After all the things that I've seen the night before that I see on a nightly basis, the crackheads, somebody running from a crackhead, somebody shoot. You want me to focus in class? Come on, man. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes, I did have you know what I mean? So I did have a short attention span. I did probably have ADHD, and a lot of other kids probably had it as well.
Yeah.
But you want us to focus and you want us to be able to pay attention in class, but they don't see what we see.
Yeah.
On the block. When we leave the school and we go back home, we going into a war zone. The block.
That's what they call it.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get in the hood, it's a whole new world from the high school my high school's in a very good area.
Okay.
Once I get past Westchester Avenue, I'm back in the hood. And it's a whole new world. You know what I'm saying?
Mindset.
Wow.
So
I wanted to touch on something that you mentioned earlier about the 7 signs of mental illness.
Mental illness, yeah.
As an Air Force vet, I've been to Afghanistan. I've been, in these areas that we were fighting in, and I came back and I noticed self-addressed some of those issues that you said, those signs, and noticed that something was off with myself. So I went to go get diagnosed. Went to go see a mental health doctor at the Air Force Base, and at the time they told me you meet 7 out of the 8 criteria for us to say that you have PTSD or mental health issues or whatever it was that they were trying to say. So according to their checklist, I wasn't a mental health patient, I guess,
okay.
According to their checklist. But 10 years later, when I retired, they're like, nah, they should have told you do have depression, you do have anxiety, you do have all these other things that should have been addressed years ago.
Do you feel the test was different?
I feel that the criteria that they set was high. I think they were looking at certain things, looking for certain triggers, certain scenarios that you had to be in order to diagnose you as that. Even though I was in a war zone, I did not actually physically see any death or anything like that. But my life was threatened on a nightly basis. Even though I wasn't, defending myself, we were getting attacked a lot. But because of that, I think they figured that I wasn't in a situation that would cause that. But when I finally got to go see a actual psychologist, not the military doctor, but one assigned off base, they were like, yeah, you got it.
Can I say something? According to Mental Health Association, it says that help-seeking behavior is affected by mistrust of the medical system and often begins with faith-based outreach. It also reads that, unfortunately, Black and African-American providers who are known to give more appropriate and effective care to Black African-Americans, help seekers, make up a very small portion of the behavioral health system.
So what is it? We don't have enough Black doctors or Black
So
psychiatrists?
the ones that are available don't do what they're supposed to do for the Black community.
Suave is saying that some people suffer from depression because they choose to be alone. I would think that depression makes you want to be alone. I didn't think that depression, because you have depression, it causes you to be alone. I thought that people, when they go through depression, want to be alone.
They
Yeah.
feel like they're a burden on others.
They kind
They
of
feel like they're a burden on others.
alienate themselves, but I don't think being alone is a how do you state it?
He said because people suffer from depression. People suffer from depression because they want to be alone, because they choose to be alone.
Yeah, I disagree with that
Yeah.
because there's a lot of times that I choose to be alone, but never mind. Because I do through my depressive states from time to time, and I do be alone. But there's times that I just like being alone. I just like chilling by myself.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a behavior of a person who is depressed. They withdraw.
I definitely I recall that. But back to the PTSD thing, whatever. You know, like a lot of times PTSD is associated with military
Yes,
or stuff like that, but
and it's not
Yeah.
a military.
it definitely is not. I got PTSD from shit I've seen and from the war zones in the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes, even to this day, a loud muffler, pop, can have me ducking. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
where's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Where's it coming
Yeah,
from?
there's certain noises that
You know what I
trigger
mean?
certain reactions for me too. If I hear something that sounds like a siren, like an incoming attack,
Right.
I'll freak out. And it's kind of crazy living here in Fort Bragg because we always got all the stuff going on here. But that, as long as that alarm is not associated with it, I'm fine. But if there's an alarm associated with these booms that we get, I will freak out. I'll be sweating and
I've had people
Eyes
tell me
bulging
that
in my
I
head.
overreact sometimes because, you know, sometimes if you catch me off guard and you tap me on my shoulder, something like that, and I might grab your arm or something,
Oh.
because you know,
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
almost did that to me one night when I walked up on you. That
Oh,
chill
really?
bar. Yeah, you was watching TV and I walked up on you.
my dad is like that.
yeah,
And my dad's a Vietnam vet.
my
So
pops too, and he's wacko.
yeah, well, I ain't gonna say my dad's wacko,
My
but
pops is wacko.
but there's some triggers that he has when he's sleeping. We were taught when we were young.
Yeah.
If dad is asleep, you need to tap him on his toes
right.
to wake him up, you know, or shake the bed or something. But don't get close to him. You got to be at the foot of the bed, shaking the bed, saying, "Pop, wake up." Because if you get close, he's gonna choke you out.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. That's that reaction. You know what I mean? Like,
He's still like
I
that.
call
to
my
this day.
pops wacko because he's whack. I mean, I think the being in the war and stuff like that, because he was a Green Beret. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
yeah, and that's
So you know, and it's like he's even to this day, he's going through it, whatever. Even like, you know, he's like isolated from his siblings. You know,
Mm.
some like, you know, you got to catch him on a good day
yeah,
where he wants to be around somebody or
Yeah.
whatever, because, you know, he's traumatized, you know, and to the point where, you know, even as family, we're like, let's leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. He's not,
when he's
So-
ready to come around, he'll come
yeah,
around.
and he's not somebody fun you want to be around, whatever. His
I can
mood
understand that.
swings, all that, whatever, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
constantly, whatever. You just can't keep up with them. You know what I mean?
I can
So-
understand that.
And it said that the 3 most common diagnoses are anxiety disorders, depression, and PTSD. Those are the 3 most common diagnoses
Okay.
of mental illness. Okay, so I was telling you how sometimes I can be triggered. Somebody tap me wrong, whatever.
Yes.
Like I know sometimes like I have I'm not gonna say it's a bad habit, but I'm always looking over my shoulder. I'm
Right.
always looking over my back.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, from the time you're like 10 to 12 years old, you're taught always look over your shoulder, always look over your back, whatever. And I'm walking home from Weber Drive one day, whatever, back to Travis Avenue, whatever. And
Uh-huh.
I remember this guy named Blue. You know, he didn't mean to. I guess he called himself playing, whatever. But he must have saw me coming and and he jumped out, and he scared the hell out of me,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So naturally, my thing was whatever. I go at him, you know, to try to lunge at him, whatever. You know, try to take his head off, whatever. And he's like, chill. You just gotta learn how to always watch your back, whatever. He said, always look over your shoulder, whatever, look around your surroundings, whatever. So from that day on,
Yeah.
even if I walk through, I'm scouring the room, whatever. If I go somewhere, whatever, I try to get, I'm looking at the exits.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I
Same
mean?
way.
Scouting them out, whatever.
Same.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
exactly the same way.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Even if I could try to get close to, you know what I mean? To, as close as possible, whatever. Like, yeah, I got
Mahogany Rose is laughing at me.
No, I'm laughing because you know me. I'm ghost. If something's popping
Oh,
off,
yeah.
I'm out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for
Somebody drop a glass in the shadow. She's looking for it. She's
Whatever.
about out the door.
Last time I ran out the door, somebody was laid up on the table somewhere. But
Now, Suave said there are people who naturally choose to be alone, but it may not be a sign of actual depression. It's just that some choose to be alone by choice. Okay, got it. So the triggers,
Yes.
stressful life situations
Mhm.
finances.
can be a trigger. Finances.
This is the PTSD or just
This is
or depression or
a mental illness, just some of the
Okay,
triggers. She and Mahogany Rose said it. Financial problems,
yes.
Yeah.
a loved one's death, or divorce.
Mm-hmm.
It says ongoing chronic medication conditions such as diabetes, brain damage as a result of serious injury, trauma such as violent blow to the head, traumatic experiences, and into yours, man, such as military combat or assault. So these are some of the triggers that can make you just like, you know what I mean, just
Even a tragic accident. Some people that have gotten in bad car accidents have a real bad case of PTSD. Not even want to get in
you ever
cars
been in a car
anymore.
accident before?
Yes.
So you ever like
Couple of them.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm scared of big trucks. One backed up into me.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got hit in the back one time. We was at Howard Homecoming,
Okay.
DC. Dude, no brakes. He on his phone or doing something, whatever. Just no skid marks. That he came at us,
Dang.
hit us in the back, full force. You know what I mean? So naturally now with the car, when I in the car, whatever, you know what I mean. I'm always checking my my blind spots,
The rear view mirror.
all that, whatever. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it can definitely trigger that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know some people don't even want to drive no more
That's it.
Yeah.
after they
Yeah.
get into a car accident
Yeah.
because it scares them that much.
Yes.
Where they're like, yo, I don't even want to get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
I have a question for y'all.
Go ahead, knock it out.
Nature versus nurture. Do you think that some people are genetically destined to end up with a mental illness?
I think that it is a something that's in a person genetically. I do think it is an inherited
It is.
not a disease, but a trait, an inherited trait.
Right.
And certain
Yeah.
triggers can trigger that. Same thing as alcoholism.
Yeah,
I believe
That's
that's
what I was thinking about. when you said
inherited.
Yeah, I like I was telling you about the homeboy that has schizophrenia. It runs in the family.
Okay.
He got it. He had a grandmother that had it, a cousin that had it, so and the great grandmother.
Oh wow.
So it runs in the family. So I think it can definitely be. And then my family, my aunt had my grandmother. My grandmother had it before she passed away. She didn't have it as much as my aunt Mildred that had it, whatever. But I see it, definitely in the genes.
Yeah.
My mom is now 75 years old, and she's already taking what you call that stuff called Prevagen or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the commercials
So
for
she
that.
takes
I
the
heard about that.
Prevagen, and so that she can, I guess it kind of trains the mind to help you with remembering things and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she's already has that concern. So she's already taken Prevagen. I got another aunt that would always do crossword puzzles
Okay. Yeah.
because they said that's supposed to help as well.
Yeah. Crossword
Yeah.
puzzles,
With dementia
Sudoku.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they all now they start to practice, getting ahead of it because they
Okay.
know it runs in the family or in the genes. So that's what they be doing. You know what I'm saying? It says most mental illnesses cannot be cured.
Mm.
So I guess you can probably get treatment for it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it really can't be cured. I know there's no cure for dementia.
No.
I don't believe there's one for schizophrenia. I don't believe there's one for
PTSD. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. Yeah. So, but it said that you can treat them.
Let's slow it down.
Yeah. It said they can usually be treated effectively to minimize the symptoms and allow the individuals to function in work, school, and social environments. So yes, we're here. We're talking about mental illness. Suave said some things that are inherited from the family. That's true, Suave. We just gave a few examples of that. We're gonna take a small break. When we come back in, I'm gonna give y'all my story of my depression
Okay.
and how it led me to being in this wheelchair.
Okay.
And not only that, not only being in a wheelchair, but having to now start my journey of being in a wheelchair with the mental illness, whatever. You know what I mean? So we're gonna take a quick break. Make sure y'all come back. We do it for the Culture Radio where our stories matter. Tell somebody, listen in. We getting deep with it today. We'll
Yes,
be
we
right
are.
back.
Storming outside, rain, she keeps me home. Quiet conversation makes me warm, so warm. Sweet rain whispers me to sleep and wakes me up again. My rain, sometimes I swear I hear her call my name. I swear, summer rain. Oh. In the middle of the night when I'm alone, I feel her kisses on me, even when she's gone. Can't wait till she gets home. Hey, whispers me to sleep and wakes me up again. Up again. Sometimes I swear I hear her call my name. My name, my name. Oh, oh, oh. I don't mind if it rains forever. If it rains, let it rain on me. I don't mind. Yeah. Oh, let it rain, let it rain. Oh, oh, oh. So go ahead and make it right. Bring the sunshine back. Baby, make it right. Hey, yeah. Go ahead and make it right there. Keep it right there. Summer rain. It puts me to sleep and wake me. Oh, oh, yeah. Call her my name, yeah, yeah, yeah. Summer rain. Whoa, oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north and south and east. Whoa, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Oil wasted on the oceans and upon our seas, fish full of mercury. Oh, mercy, mercy.
We do it for the Culture Radio. For the culture.
I was born to flex.
Culture, eat it up, turn them to vultures.
The culture.
Thank God for the culture. Thank God for the culture. Thank God for the culture.
Listen right now.
Yes. Welcome back to Be Do It for the Culture Radio, where our stories matter. Sitting beside my boy DJ Miz and the one and only Mahogany Rose. We've been talking about mental illness and different factors of it. We've talked about depression. We've talked about a little bit of dementia. We talked about a little bit of PTSD. We talked a little bit about schizophrenia. There are multiple facets of mental illness that can be diagnosed. I know for me, I've definitely gone through depression. I have the dementia in my family that I gotta make sure that I stay up on that as the years go by. I'm not getting no younger.
No,
I'm no.
I'm not. That's what I meant. No, I'm not getting any younger. Not you. I know I'm not getting any younger.
But real quick, let's we talked a little bit about Mahogany Rose was talking about autism in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that for just a quick minute, if it's not too
All
much
right.
trouble. Autism and Black children. Now, I'm gonna say it. I think that autism in Black children has been increasing steadily over the years, and there are more children Black children now with autism than I have ever seen ever as a kid growing up. As a kid growing up, I don't remember autism being so
Prevalent.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, where did it all of a sudden come from? That all of a sudden now, as one in every so often Black children have autism. What is going on? Is it the vaccines that they're giving us? Is it in the water because we're living in places where the water is a little bit different than other communities? What is causing this autism in the Black community like this?
I don't know. I think personally a lot of it comes down to the pharmaceutical companies wanting to make money and saying, "Hey, this is just my conspiracy theory, and I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but this is what I think right here is that pharmaceutical companies come up with a disease or a symptom and say, hey, your kid is restless. I have something for that. Let's go ahead and give them this. Even though, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there was no such thing as ADHD or autism. It's like, I just think that's what I think. I think pharmaceutical companies come up with a drug and say, hey, your child has this. Let's give him this drug. And he needs to be on, or she needs to be on this for now, for the rest of their life.
And of course, like I'm not saying of course, but a lot of Black parents don't even research these medications that they're prescribing for the children.
That's true.
Now, I told you that they told my mom that I had ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
They said I had a problem with attention, and stuff like that. But I don't recall them ever give my mom's any medication for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know they tried to put me in a special class, whatever, which only lasted. My mom was like, why are you putting them in this class, whatever? So I think by the time I got to third grade, she was like, nah, hell no. Nah.
Yeah.
He can coexist with the rest of these kids, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they was doing it because I was a bad kid.
Yeah.
I was always the kid in the class starting the melee and trying to make people laugh, and I guess I figured just because he's a troubled kid, he's always starting something.
Yeah,
something he's got to maybe something's wrong with him.
Nah, you're just a class clown.
I was a class clown. I definitely was. So I'm thinking maybe that's the reason why they diagnose me with these things, whatever. Said that
they want you to get medicated.
Anxiety.
I'm not the teacher to do something like that, but I have known teachers to try to do it to my son, saying, "Oh, he's hyper. Have you talked with your pediatrician?" That's how they're trying to come. That's the angle they take.
Yeah.
Have you talked to your pediatrician about his hyperactivity. They hint, they can't just come out and say, your kid need to be on medication. You slow him down a little bit. They can't do that. But in reference to autism, statistic something that I found, it said 80%, there's an 80% risk of inherited genes. A new study looking at autism in 5 countries found that 80% of autism risk can be traced to inherited genes rather than environmental factors and random mutations. Do I believe it? Not necessarily.
I don't believe that either.
Not necessarily.
And if there's mutations, I think it's because of the drugs
and because of what they're putting in our food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could be a very big point right there.
Yes.
The food, the hormones, the
yes.
GMO, all that stuff that they now are putting in our foods.
Yes.
They got to have chemicals to deal with our foods now. You ever see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them working in like places like Kraft Foods, whatever. They working. They got to have all these crazy uniforms on.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just dealing, and then like you're dealing with you're
Cancer,
dealing with food.
Yeah.
That's it.
What are y'all doing with the food that y'all gotta wear these crazy
full
full chemicals? Yeah.
Yeah.
They put something in the food,
It's very
man.
questionable.
Yes.
So if you look at was it Jackson, Mississippi right now? With the water situation?
Yeah, I think it's Jackson.
Okay, so they're dealing with the water situation in Jackson, Mississippi. Now they dealt with it in Flint.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the pattern with this stuff, you notice that it's always in deep ridden black communities where they say, because the taxes are a little bit different, whatever. So the water lines haven't been updated and this and that, whatever. So I even saw a picture online. I don't know if y'all saw this of a water pipeline that was heavily corroded. I mean, it looked horrible. They said, and the picture said, this is from the water that you're drinking out. This is where it comes from.
And down in Mississippi.
No, this was someplace else.
Oh wow.
So it was I guess he works for the water system, whatever line. So they took out an old pipe. They took out an old water line system, whatever. And he said, this is the water. This is where the water comes that you've been drinking from. And he showed a picture of the pipe corroded. There's erosion everywhere. And that's what's coming into these faucets that we're drinking from the water that we're putting into our foods and everything.
Yes.
And it's mostly in certain communities where there's heavily black population where this is going on.
It'll be an increase in cancers, increase in sicknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is crazy. He says, I was born with cerebral palsy. That's it? Cerebral palsy?
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy. And endured several surgeries, but I could have been depressed, but I survived it all. So I can agree with you. Man, you know what? I commend you on that.
Yeah.
I commend you on that for being able to deal with that and not go through depression, because I'm motherfucking dead.
Well, and what's wild with what he said, I also believe, and even with you, because I don't know what happened with your situation and what you're about to talk about, but I always feel that it's to deal with depression or to get depressed with certain situations, like Swab was saying, as long as you have a good support around you, a good support system around you to take care of you, to keep you occupied, that helps a lot. It helps a lot. It helps. I'm not going to say it's going to stop it and eliminate it totally, but it helps. And another military story, because that's all I got. When I was stationed in Iceland during the summer or during the winter months, we only get like 4 hours of sunlight, if that much, during the whole winter. So they would give us UV lights to put into our room so we can get the vitamin D and stuff like that to help people from getting depression because of the lack of sunlight. And I know I never got the lights. I never got any of the treatments that we're supposed to get to help with the antidepressant stuff. I just had a good group of people around me that we just kept each other occupied, kept our minds going, and not worrying about, oh man, it's dark. It's always dark, or we have nothing to do. We found stuff to do. So that's why I say I think that when you have a good group of people, a good support group around you, it does help take your mind off of things and help you get through things a lot easier than it would if you don't.
I think I can attest to that. Because I remember when I like my first 10 years of being paralyzed, I was always in the hospital.
Mhm.
I didn't like birthdays, holidays, any special occasions. I missed them all because I was always in the hospital. So, but for me, like you said, during the day, my homeboys come up to the room, females, my friends. I'm like, I got a room full of people in there, whatever. They're like, Calvin, you got to try to keep it down to this many people, whatever. So I'm having fun. We playing cards,
Aw.
we're joking around, this and that, whatever. So I'm good because my
People
people's
are
is
there.
there. But at the end of the day, where all of my friends are gone,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and it's just me and those four walls, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to be here. Like
Yeah.
now it kicks in because now all your friends are going. This is you in those four walls. You wish you could be out there with them, whatever they're doing. Now sometimes they call you on the phone. There's a whole bunch of them in the background, and
Mhm.
they're at a party or they playing ball, and you wish you could be there with them or something like that. So it's when those friends go home at the end of the day or the end of the night when it's you in those four walls, and you just sitting there. And sometimes I would just cry myself to sleep at night, whatever. Like I would do anything just to be able to get out of this hospital or to be able to walk again or
Yeah.
not deal with all these surgeries. I'm tired of these hospitals. But during the day again, next day, oh hey, yeah. So it helps. It does help.
It does help. It does help.
You know what I mean? My when I was a young cat, hold on, let me see. It was tough. You're correct. You have to have a strong support system, and you mentally have to be strong. I spent my days in the hospital. Yeah, for sure. But I remember when I was growing up, right? I was a bad kid, but I wasn't like bad because I wanted to be bad, whatever. Like a lot of my cousins, my cousin Lee, Howard, whatever, those guys, whatever, they was always in and out of jail.
Okay.
My brother Muff, with all due respect, I love my brother Muff, but my brother Muff was a good kid.
Mhm.
He was into sports, he liked girls, he dressed nice. He was a good kid. And I would always get compared to him as a kid because when I would go to school, whatever, and I would have the same teacher my brother had, they were like, "You can't be Muffy's brother. No, you're not Marvin's brother. How could you be whatever?" Your brother was such a good kid. You know what I mean? So now you get the comparisons.
Yeah.
You don't kind of you don't live up to the expectations of your older brother,
Mhm.
and sometimes it weighs heavily on you. Whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Sometimes
And-
you tell a person they bad, they gonna be bad.
Yeah, and then in my household, my brother was a Taurus, my sister was a Taurus, and my mother was a Taurus. I was the only one
Okay.
that was out. I would have these reoccurring nightmares that they were going to leave me, like pack up and just leave me by myself. You know what I mean? Because I was the only different one in the household, whatever. And I was always bad, and they were always trying to exclude me, whatever. So, and like I said, I wasn't bad because I was bad because I had to be because Muffy was good.
Yeah.
So when I would fight in the streets, whatever, and get into things, I couldn't say, "I'm gonna go get my brother. He gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna go get my brother," because they know he ain't no fighter.
Yeah.
It don't hold no weight. So, and my other cousins in jail. So now I got no choice but to do it on my own. And so what I chose to do was I adopted this whole image, and this image was Calvin is fucking crazy. If he picks up something, he's gonna use it. Anything he chooses, he's gonna use it.
Mhm.
Because that was all I had going for myself.
Okay.
I was a $105. My brother, I couldn't say I didn't have no protection, nobody having my back. So my thing was, this motherfucker's crazy. Don't fuck with this crazy nigga. If he pick up something, he's gonna fucking use it. So I remember hitting people with golf clubs and hitting them with bricks and shit. And I
Okay.
would walk away, right?
Yeah.
And when you walk away, you hear people saying, "You see what the fuck Calvin just did? That motherfucker must be crazy." But that was the response you wanted, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You wanted people to think that so that they would always think twice about fucking with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Jamaica Carlton would say, "Calvin, if you ever get into a fight, always leave a scar. You may not win, but make sure you leave a scar, because every time they see that scar, they'll always think twice about fucking with you again."
Mhm.
So whenever I got into a fight, right, I gotta leave a scar. I don't care how I do it. I don't care if I gotta bite you.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you with a scar. So that scar is gonna be with you for the rest of your life. So you'll always know Calvin did this to me. You know what I mean? So all I had going for me was crazy.
Yeah.
And I let people think that whatever, and that the stay whatever. But I knew I wasn't crazy. But it was all I had to, in the streets. I had to roll with that and let people think that. Because at night, if I hit somebody did something bad at nightmares, I swear to you, I kid you not, I'd be laying in bed and I'd be like, damn, did I hurt him? I hope I didn't kill him. What the fuck? Because I knew I wasn't a bad kid.
Yeah.
But it was all I had going for me. You know what I mean? And it led me to feeling like, you know what I mean? I would go through the signs of do bouts with depression.
Yeah.
Got the good angel, good devil over here, the good bad devil over here, telling you do this, don't do it, Calvin, don't do it. The other one's telling you, knock that nigga the fuck out. You know, do something crazy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I dealt with depression all my life. So the night that my accident happened, I was already dealing with a situation, whatever. So that night, when I picked up the gun and I walked past my sister, and she started screaming, "Mama, Calvin got that gun. Mama, Calvin got a gun." By the time I got to the stairwell, my mother was hollering, "Calvin, get back here with that gun. Get back here with that damn gun." Mom, I love you, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So I goes, whatever, I go down, whatever, and that good angel saying, shoot these motherfuckers. The bad doesn't say don't do it. The bad one's saying shoot these motherfuckers. So when I get out there, the altercation I had to do. He was like 4 or 5 of them back there, whatever. And I said, listen, you know, you want me, you got me, because he tried to hit me with a 40-ounce bottle. I said, you want me, you got me. So I asked him 3 times to get away from everybody so we could do what we got to do. After the third time he didn't move, I said, okay, I've asked him 3 times to get away from y'all. He hasn't moved, so now I'm giving y'all the opportunity to get away from him. And they didn't move. So when they didn't move, I cocked the gun and I shot over there at the mad direction. Everybody hits the ground. So now I'm thinking that I'm going to jail for a long time because I done hit somebody. No, but they all on the ground, they're not moving. Yeah. So I put the gun to my head. I said, I'm not going to jail for these niggas. So I put the gun to my head. Again, that good angel saying, don't do it, Calvin. The bad one saying, you're going to jail for a long time. Just end it now. So I put the gun to my head and I pulled the trigger, and the gun, it didn't go off. And when it didn't go off, I was looking at it trying to figure out, like, why didn't it go off? And I didn't know what a delayed discharge was. You know, even though I like guns, we wasn't experienced. We didn't go to no classes. You know, I didn't know what a delayed discharge was. So as I'm looking at the gun trying to figure out why it didn't go off, it goes off and I lose control of it. And it just shoots me in my chest, paralyzes me on the spot. Don't feel a thing. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm in that after they told me that I can't walk, you know what I mean? So now I'm thinking, damn, I can't never walk again. I got a trach in my throat. I ain't never gonna be able to sing again. I can't play basketball no more. Those are all my loves right now. Yeah. Singing, basketball, girls, and then of course the girls. I'm thinking I can't do the papa no more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't do the papa no more. You know what I mean? So like any person, you go through pressure. You question God, like, why me? You know what I mean? I'm like, my life is already fucked up. From the time I was 12 years old, my life has been fucked up. I tried to end it. Not only did you let me live, but you left me here worse than what I already was now. So I can't walk now. I was already messed up, but you left me here. You let me live through this, and now my life is worse than what it already was. So now I'm in the depression again. Yeah. Now I'm going through depression again. Once reality set in that this was going to be my life, I realized I don't want to live. Now I don't want to live again. I don't want to live like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now I'm ready to find a way to do it all over again. Only this time I ain't got no weapons. Everybody's keeping weapons away from me. You know what I mean? But if it's up to me, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I don't want to live like this. Yes. Whatever, you know what I mean? So I go through another depression for years. I'm looking at these symptoms that said feeling sad and down. I went through that. Confused, thinking, or reduced ability to concentrate. It said extreme mood changes of highs and lows. I would lash out at my family and friends. They were just trying to be there for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But because everything I was going through, I was just lashing out like, get the fuck away from me. Don't fucking talk. You know what I mean? Just lashing out. You know what I'm saying? So I was going through all these different symptoms. The biggest one was significant tiredness, low energy, problems sleeping, withdrawal from friends and activities.
Mhm.
I went through all that. You know what I mean? Depression for years. So one day, my nephew's father, my sister's boyfriend, his name is Larry, the one I sang at his wedding over the weekend.
Okay. Congratulations.
He comes in the room today, every day. He would come in. How you doing, Calvin? You all right? I'm in the bed. I'm not moving. I don't want to eat.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to nobody. The room door is closed. Don't talk to me. But he would come in every day. Calvin, you're right. You good, whatever. So one day he comes in and he's got this book from Ian Levin. It's called Acts of Faith.
Okay.
And he said, Calvin, I want you to read this book. While I was in prison, this book helped me out. It got me through a lot and helped me on my journey to where I am now. I want you to read this book. Like, all right, cool, whatever. Just put it down there, whatever. That book stayed on the dresser for weeks and weeks. I didn't look at it. So one day I said, let me just take a look at this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I started reading that book and I couldn't put it down. Page after page after page. And that book was single-handedly responsible, besides him for giving it to me, for helping me to get back and try to say, you know what? This is my reality. This is my life as a paraplegic. I'm going to just go ahead and make it do what it do.
Yeah.
But that book alone
Wow.
helped me to start my journey to living life as a paraplegic and getting over my depression. Because I didn't go see no doctor like some people do. And I know that's what we should do.
Yeah.
We should go to a doctor. We should get treated, whatever. But again, in the black community, that's like taboo.
Yeah.
We don't want to go talk to no doctor. What the fuck am I going to talk to a motherfucker got more problems than I got?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the things we say.
He don't know me. What's
Yeah.
you gonna do? How's he
What
gonna
you
help
gonna-
me? He don't even know me.
Yeah. I ain't gonna talk to that motherfucker. He probably got my problem with it. That nigga ain't God. What are you gonna do for me? So we don't like to go to see the doctor, talk to the doctor. We got to do better with that, y'all.
Definitely.
Because I can attest that joint has helped me now. Because when my sister passed in 2019, that was the first time I went to go talk to a psychiatrist, whatever. I don't know the difference. What's the difference between psychologist and a psychiatrist? I don't know. But I went to go see one of them niggas. Because I got depressed when my sister passed away. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, whatever. So my brother Chris was like, Calvin, I'm talking to someone. He lives in the DC area. I'm seeing someone. You need to go see somebody too. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go do it. And it helped. It helped to talk about it, to get things off. I thought I was going there for that. I wound up going all the way down to my childhood, talking to them about stuff. That's how far back it went.
And it has to be someone that's non-biased when you talk to them, because going to a friend or a family, they know too much about you, and you sometimes risk them talking about what you're talking about, to everybody else. So someone that's non-biased.
Yeah, but see, I thought it was the stuff that was on the surface, but once you start talking to them,
Get deeper. And
it get deeper and deeper because it's not what's on the surface. It's what's at the root of the problem.
That's it.
So they going down, they getting all the way down into your childhood, from the anxiety, the ADHD, all that stuff messes with you psychologically as well.
Yep.
Right.
Teacher telling you that, whatever, you thinking you different from the other kids. And that starts to mess with you as well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it goes way deeper than that.
Peeling back those layers.
Pulling back those layers. You had something that you wanted to add?
Oh no, I was just looking through my
Okay, yeah.
notes. No.
Okay, so yeah, it goes deeper than that, and we have to address it. Like we were saying, you got to go if you feel like you're going through something, go speak to someone about it. Go speak to a specialist, a doctor, a psychiatrist. I don't know the difference between them. To this day, I still don't know the difference between them, but I know one of them, they do something good.
Yeah. Just go see a specialist. Talk to a specialist.
So I'll say it was tough. You are correct. You have to have a strong support. Okay, I already went over that.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I was looking at someone that says, it says mental health occurring Black Americans. No, what was it saying? Okay, here it is. Because of these factors, more and more Black American people are more likely to experience chronic and persistent rather than episodic mental health conditions. Yet, hope for recovery should remain as light and shed light on these issues. And it says, we have to go to the effective care. Black and African help seekers. Okay, no, that was one. Okay, here it is. Check this out. Black and African people living below poverty are twice as likely to report serious psychological distress, and those living over 2 times the poverty than those living 2 times over the poverty level. So that poverty level and the things you see in those neighborhoods and stuff like that,
Yeah.
that's just stays with you. It
For
stays with
life. Yeah.
the life. I mean, even stuff like did you ever play sports at school when you was younger?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sure I did.
I played basketball, right?
I was a basketball player.
Okay, so I played basketball. My mom was always working 2 and 3 jobs, right? So when I'm playing basketball on the court at these games, whatever, stuff like that, I see my homeboys, their parents is in the crowd cheering them on.
Yeah.
Hey! But when I look up in those bleachers, my mom is never there. And that right there, you know what I mean? Why are they moms there cheering them on?
Yeah.
Do they mom love them more than my mom loved me? All those things. So even as a kid, you get to adulthood, you like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You bring it up to your mom. You wasn't never at my games, but you don't realize what your mom was going through, trying to make sure you got food
That's
on
right.
the table, whatever, trying to take care of you. But she couldn't be at those games like some of those other parents.
Yeah.
But I still held that against her because that it was deep rooted in me. It took me from childhood to you were never there to support me. Whether I was in band night or something, in the band or the concerts. I look up in those bleachers. You're not there to cheer me on and say, "Go get him, son."
Yes.
That shit fucks with you.
Yeah, it does.
And I know there's so many other children or people that went through that as a child.
Yeah, that's true.
Your mom was probably working hard, or maybe she was messed up on drugs, and she didn't go to support you at your concerts,
Yeah.
your basketball games. You wonder why my mom ain't here to cheer me on, or why my mom ain't here to support me. And all that messes with you psychologically, whether you know it or not, as a child, and it stays with you, and it never leaves until you address it, my dude.
I said until you let it go.
Yes,
That's when it leaves.
Yeah,
That's when it leaves.
it's serious, man. It's a whole lot deeper than we think, man. And we gotta definitely address it. We can't run from it. It says that adult blacks and African Americans are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's it. And it only gets worse when you add substance abuse and alcohol to try to drown out the mood or what you're going through. It only makes it 10 times worse.
It definitely does. It does. But here's the one me and Mahogany Rose was talking about yesterday. It said blacks and African Americans, this is the probably one best point we got here, are less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages. It says, however, black and African American teenagers are more likely to attempt it.
Okay.
To attempt suicide than white teenagers. So we're more likely to try to attempt it than to actually do it.
To go through.
White children and white people will have a higher rate of suicide than us. Because I believe when we do it, we trying to do it for attention. I'm going to cut my wrist.
Okay.
However, men die by suicide 3.6 times more than women. And the rate
Women are stronger than us.
And the rate is twice as high in white men.
Twice as high.
Yeah.
So you see that? So we were talking about that, kind of a little bit of that yesterday. Why is that?
Why is that?
Because we deal with a lot growing up, way more than they do growing up.
Yeah.
For the most part, yes.
They're privileged not to see a lot of things that we do see. They're privileged not to go through a lot of things that we go through.
A lot of that struggle.
So
some are born into wealth.
There you go. They're born into wealth. And what's that old saying? You got to go through something to be something,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff that we go through as we're going through as kids. So by the time we get to become an adult, we got tough skin.
Yeah.
We done been through some things.
We know how to manage things.
Yeah, we can manage. But because they haven't seen nothing, they haven't gone through nothing, now they're adults. And because they've never had to experience nothing, when they finally go through something, oh, Dad, We only got $1 million left in the account.
That's it.
We got
We broke. We broke.
we broke.
We're very familiar with struggle. We're very familiar.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
But they don't deal with struggle as good as we do.
That's it.
inherited trait right there. Struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle. It's in our DNA.
Yeah,
That's
It is.
it.
It is. It's ingrained in us.
That's
we
a
know how
fact.
to deal with it. We know how to deal with it.
that's a fact. So, like I said, because they're sheltered. They're, you know what I mean. They're kind of in a situation where they live a privileged life and they don't know what it's like to really go through some things that you gotta pick yourself up from your collar and get back up again.
Yep.
And because they don't, they are more likely to commit suicide
That's it.
than us. Now we may tell our homeboy, our friend, our sister, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
Just so they can say, "Oh no, don't do it. We love you.
Yeah, we love you.
We
love
want to get the attention. Discourage me. Tell me not to do this shit."
you. Yeah.
But they gonna actually do that shit.
They're
Yeah,
gonna,
'cause they ain't gonna tell
they're gonna
nobody. They're just
execute
gonna do
a
it.
plan. They're
Yeah.
gonna execute
Yeah.
a plan.
Yeah, that's
to be
for damn sure.
successful with killing themselves.
That's how they do it, man. Listen, so we know so it's a gift and a curse to be black.
Yes.
You go through some shit, you see a lot of things, whatever, but at the same time, it makes us so much stronger.
A little bit more resilient.
Exactly.
And mentally tough.
Yes. So we're gonna take one more quick break. When we come back, whatever, we're gonna go over a few more things. Then we're gonna close out the show. We thank y'all for staying with us as we talk about mental illness. Miz,
Yes, sir.
take it away. We'll be right back. We do it for the Culture Radio, where our stories matter.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October, a toast, but my granddaddy came sober. Count all the fingers and the toes, now I suppose you hope the little black boy grows. 18 years younger than my mama, but I really got beaten cause the girl loved drama. In single parenthood, there I stood. By the time she was 21, had another one. This one's a girl, let's name her Pam. Same father as the first, but you don't give a damn. Irresponsible, plain not thinking. Papa said chill, but the brother keep winking. Still he won't down you, would tear out your hide. On your side while the baby make a slide. But mama got wise to the game. The youngest of 5 kids, hun, here it is. After 10 years without no spouse, mama's getting married in the house. Listen, positive over negative for the woman a master. Mother Queen's rise in the chapter. Deja vu, tell you what I'm gonna do when they reminisce over you, my God.
Yeah, so lovely. That's how we like to do it in the 90s. Rock and seal smooth. Coming at y'all.
When I date back, I recall a man off the family tree. My right hand, Papa Doc, I see. Took me from a boy to a man, so I always had a father. When my biological didn't bother taking care of this. So who am I to pick up? Not a bad ticker, but I'm clocking Pop's liver. But you can never say that his life is through. 5 kids at 21, believe he got a right to. Here we go while I check the scene with the Portuguese lover at the age of 14. The same age, front page, no fuss. But I bet you all you know they live longer than us. Never been seen now, that's swear you're wrong. But give the man a taste and he's gone. Nodding off sleep to a jazz tune. I can hear his head banging on the wall in the next room. I get the pillow and hope I don't wake him. For this man to cuss, hear it all in verbatim. Telling me how to raise my boy unless he's taking over. I said, Pop, maybe when you're older. We laughed all night about the hookers at the party. My old man standing yelling, good God Almighty. Use your condom, take sips of the brew. When they reminisce over you, for real.
For real, baby. Like that. We for real. Coming at ya. In 92. Rock CL Smooth. Yeah. Come on.
I reminisce so you never forget this. The days are way back, so many bear witness the fitness. Take the first letter out of each word in this joint. Listen close as I prove my point. T to the R-O-Y, how did you and I meet in front of Big Lou's fighting in the street? But only you saw what took many time to see. I dedicate this to you for believing in me. Rain or shine, yes, in any weather. My grandma Pam holds the family together. My Uncle Doc's the greatest, better get the latest. If we're talking about a car, Uncle Sterling got the latest. I strive to be live cause I got no choice. And run my own business like my Aunt Joyce. So Pete Rock hit me, enough respect due. When they reminisce over you, listen.
Listen. Just listen to the focus songs as I rock on. And that's word is born. I'm not playing. Everybody just cool it.
All right. Welcome back to We Do It for the Culture Radio, where our
right.
stories matter. Man, we've been talking about it, mental illness today, getting down to the deep bottom of it,
Yes.
and how it can be brought on from a child and stay with you, and you carry that thing into adulthood if you're not careful, and if you do not address it or get a hold on it. It can stay with you. It could,
Yeah.
for years and years.
Yep.
I'm
And not
telling you
even know.
from experience.
And you won't even know that you're carrying it with you. You won't even know.
Won't even know until you decide to get some help and talk to somebody. And the suicide and crisis hotline number it's like almost like 911. Instead, it's 988.
Yes.
988 for the suicide and crisis line. You even got to dial a whole phone number. Instead of dialing 911 for emergency, dial 988
Yes.
for the suicide and crisis line, and someone will be there to speak to you.
Yep. For my veterans out there listening, it's the same 988, but press dial 1 after that. So dial 1, get to talk to a veterans crisis person to help you out through that. You can also get on the website veteranscrisisline.net. You can chat with somebody online, and there you can also text if you're a veteran and need some help. Text 838-255 and somebody will get back with you. Again, that is 838-255 for the Veterans Crisis Line. If you need help, please go out there and get it. It's there for us. Make sure you utilize it.
Absolutely. And there's also a crisis line. Just text TALK to 741-1741. This is a crisis line so that you can go on and talk to someone if you feel like you need some crisis.
There you go. And to all of our friends out there, family, whatever, you can talk to us.
Absolutely.
You can talk
Definitely,
to us. Give us a
definitely.
call. You know, last thing I ever want somebody to go through what I went through. So if I can be there to talk you out of your situation or to help you through your situation and chop it up with you, give me a call. I don't mind it at all.
No.
I do speaking engagements where I go and I speak to children about it, whatever. So if I can do it for them, I'd be more than willing and happy to do it for someone that I personally know. And speaking of speaking engagements, if you ever want me to come and speak about mental illness at your establishment, your organization, your company, whatever, please feel free to reach out to me. You can inbox me, and I'd be more than glad to give you the details to get this thing going. It says 16%, which is 4.8 million of Black and African American people reported having a mental illness. And 22.4% of those, which is 1.1 million, reported it as a serious illness
Okay.
or problem. So stop holding it in. Talk to someone. Let someone know you need help. And address it as soon as you can. Mental illness is serious. It can lead to death. Because I'm only here by the grace of God. And I ain't talking about that dude with that hair going down, whatever. No, I'm talking about the universe.
Friends, family, pay attention to the behaviors of your loved ones.
Yes.
If you feel that they're kind of with you, you have a family member that's withdrawing or have mood swings or being abusive toward drugs or alcohol,
Giving away all their possessions.
saying goodbye, calling people to say goodbye, visiting people out of nowhere to say goodbye. Pay attention to those behaviors because that could very well be a mental illness.
Pay attention to the
Or
signs.
sign. Yep.
988 is the number. We want to thank you guys again for joining us here for We Do It for the Culture for another great episode of keeping you in the know and bringing the things that directly or indirectly affect the Black community to your attention. Did you guys want to close out with anything before we jet out? Did you guys want to plug anything?
Yeah, of course I got to plug Sam's Mobile Entertainment. Got to plug us. We got a couple of events coming up. We did music bingo last night. Really great out of Innocent Creek. We have a 40th birthday party coming up this Saturday. I can't remember the names off the top of my head. I know Haley is the first name. I can't remember the last name. So we got that coming up Saturday. Volleyball season for Fayetteville Technical Community College is coming up. We're going to be out there DJing all the home games for that.
What about Friday?
What's going on this Friday? Oh, yeah. DJing at New Century International Middle School dance. Doing that this Friday. So we got a couple things lined up. Just going to have some fun. Make some people dance. So
the hardest working DJ I know.
Absolutely. Your time. Your time to shine. I do balloon decor. So if you know anyone who needs some balloon decor for any event, please contact your girl. Your Time to Shine LLC.
Anything.
And for all you long haul truckers that need a dispatcher or an administrator, reach out to Cheetah Dispatch Services, and we can help you with all your dispatcher services and all administrative work for all your long haul truckers. It could be reached at 910-727-1869. And we are going to be out of here. We love you guys. Make sure you pay attention and keep in the know with us every Wednesday with 7 to 9. Right on stationhead.com. The station is 4 or 5 strong. Come on, stay with us. Join the discussion. Get involved.
Yep.
We're talking about these topics that are very, very important. You know what I mean? That could directly in some way, shape, or form. If not you, somebody that you know.
Yep.
So listen to us from 7 to 9 every Wednesday. We do it for the Culture Radio.
If you miss us.
And if you just want some good music, check us out on Sundays. For the Sunday backspin with DJ Miz hitting you with some of the great classics, that good old great R&B and hip hop music.
What they say, hit him on the head. Hit him on the head.
That's right. So listen, we are out of here.
Oh,
thank you again.
One last thing, you guys missed. If you for whatever reason missed the show on Wednesdays, you can always check us back out. Catch the replay on YouTube. We do it for the culture. You can also check us out on Facebook. If they don't boot us off, but you can check us out on Facebook. We do it for the culture on Facebook also. So please check us out. If you miss a show or you just want to go back and listen to it again, share it with a friend or something like that. You can always find them out there on YouTube and on Facebook.
And Station Head as well. You can watch
yeah, Station
all
Head
the
too.
episodes.
That's right. Yeah, even
Catch
the
up
ones
on
you
all
missed,
the
catch up on all the
episodes.
episodes.
Yes,
That's for sure. So we are out of here. 5 minus 4.
that's one.
One. Peace.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks for joining us.